Actually believe that sanctuary is your soul's reason for being. As I mentioned earlier, seeking sanctuary requires you to slow down, to hit the pause button. Now, in our culture of speed, slowing down is not the norm. Slowing down is actually countercultural. So seeking and saying yes to sanctuary is a radical act. That's right, it's a radical act of hospitality. Indeed, it is one of the wonderful ways we can inwardly proclaim and host the majesty of our soul. Like any other form of leadership or artistry, like any other form of declaring yourself and declaring your personal authority, proclaiming your soul is a political act. I like to think of it as a revolutionary offering. That's right, a revolutionary offering of bread and water to the hungry and thirsty in spirit. That's right, and that's you. Right? Here's the good news. Here is a way to begin. A very simple way to begin to seek sanctuary is to notice those places and spaces and people and moments that nourish you, that refresh you, that revive you, that make you come fully alive. Perhaps it's a warm breeze brushing across your face, or falling asleep beneath a star-studded sky, or gazing out upon a tranquil cerulean sea. Or maybe it's simply putting your feet up and relaxing in your favorite chair in a secluded spot in your living room or your backyard or on your deck or porch or patio, right? Maybe it's enjoying listening to soothing or uplifting music, or the sacred pause of life-affirming silence. Hey, or maybe it's unplugging from your iPad or cell phone for a whole day, right? Or maybe you just long to take a long, quiet stroll in the park while your husband stays home and watches the kids. You can also seek sanctuary by noticing what awakens your senses, by noticing what invigorates you and renews you. Colors, fragrances, images, shapes, sounds, tastes, textures, silence. And as you heighten your awareness of your sensory environment, you're actually equipping yourself. That's right, you're equipping yourself to notice, nourish, and nurture the sanctuary that resides within you. As you seek sanctuary, you're actually cultivating some of the habits or practices of sanctuary. Now, in another episode, I include more practices and more habits that will help you cultivate sanctuary. For now, simply notice. Just pay attention. Notice the rhythm of your daily and weekly routines. And as you do, ask yourself a few questions. Ask yourself, what nourishes me? What nourishes me? What feeds me? What renews and rejuvenates me? Another question to ask yourself is, what helps me feel rested and restored? And what helps me feel fully alive and present? I'll repeat those questions because you might want to jot them down, okay? What nourishes me? What renews and rejuvenates me? What helps me feel rested and restored? And what helps me feel fully alive and present? So as you go through the rhythm of your daily routine, your weekly routines, ask yourself those questions. And don't judge yourself, but just notice and ask yourself those questions. Now, your answers to those questions will provide clues to your experiencing, seeking, and cultivating sanctuary. You might actually find yourself already practicing some of the habits of sanctuary. How cool is that, right? Your responses will provide clues to what feeds and nourishes your soul. And when you acknowledge and claim your soul, you actually assert authority and power in your own life. You also cultivate resilience. Now, we all long for a way of being in the world that has an affinity with the soul, an affinity that opens us to experience the present moment with a sense of immediacy, intention, and emotion, right? In other words, we're present for our own life. And some of those ways are things we take for granted, like appreciating the sun's warm fingers, the warm caress on our shoulders, our neck, our face, on a beautiful summer morning. Enjoying the relaxation and rhythm of play. It's loving yourself for who you are, not for who you want to be, for who you are. Being in an engaging, radiant relationship with people in your family, people who are your friends. Sanctuary nurtures our affinity with the soul. It allows you to splurge in your senses, to just feel them all, and to be aware of them all. Be aware of something as it comes on the tip of your tongue, right? And you taste it. And don't just swallow it, but you actually savor it. Sanctuary allows you to see with new eyes, to listen deeply, to appreciate the miracle of each new moment, each new day. It allows you to open new doors, to see beyond differences, to embrace our shared humanity, to be a global citizen, to engage in purposes beyond your own. Believe in someone else's future. Belong to lives other than your own. To respect the birthright dignity of all. To be guided by a power older than civilization or culture, older than time. To lift your eyes to a horizon beyond your day-to-day routine. I hope you enjoy the realm of sanctuary. It is there for you to support you to rest, renew, and restore yourself. There to support you to reignite your passion, to reconnect you with your purpose, to remember who you are and all that is essential, to recatalyze your life force energy, to rejoice in your innate gifts of awe, creativity, imagination, inspiration, joy, and wonder. Sanctuary is there to help you let go of the daily grind so that you can recenter, recharge, and re-enchant your life. I'm so grateful for the many people in my life who have held, mentored, and nurtured me, family, friends, and total strangers who have helped me learn more deeply about sanctuary and its profound necessity and beneficial balm in my speed-obsessed life. I'm part of the culture. I know you are too. I'm also grateful for the healing presences of place and the powerful guidance and sustenance of the Holy Spirit. I'm also grateful to you for caring enough about yourself and those you love to learn about sanctuary. And finally, my deep gratitude to all the people and places and presences that continue to reveal the blessings of sanctuary. Now, for me, one of those many presences is poetry. So before I close this episode, I want to share a poem with you, a poem inspired by one of my favorite poets, Lucille Clifton. Lucille Clifton. Lucille for light. Even her name helps me. It just helps me tap into and drop into that beautiful realm of sanctuary. So this is one of my own poems called Blessing the Light. Blessing the Light. Thinking of Lucille Clifton. May the stars that shimmer even now beneath the surface of our knowing light your way. May the stars that shimmer even now beneath the surface of our knowing light your way, beyond the valley of fear. May you open your arms, then pull them back, assured that another's will shelter you from any storm. May you lift your face to the sun, sun that favors you always. And may you in your brilliance shine, a beacon for others from here to there. I hope these words have inspired you today. Now, you've heard me say this before. Inspired comes from the Latin inspirare. Inspirare, which means to breathe into or upon. To breathe into or to breathe upon. So let this episode breathe into you and inspire you to a renewed energy, a renewed outlook, a renewed sense of hope, and a renewed life. And as you are revived and renewed and restored, be sure to share the wealth. Be sure to share your blessings at somebody else's table. That's how you do it. That's how you make your life count. You can be the change you seek. Just remember this. How you live is how you lead. You have the power to make our world a better place. All right. I want you to be sure to listen to this episode again and again, and be sure to tell somebody. Now, you can find me right here on iTunes, SoundCloud, Alexa, Spreaker.com, Talk Network Radio, and so many other places. If you happen to miss any part of this week's show, or you missed last week's episode, you can simply download the recording and listen to it at your convenience. You can even listen to it on the go. Check us out, www.talknetworkradio.com/legacyliving.html. You can learn more about my work and Legacy Living Make Your Life Count by visiting the Gloria Burgess website. And, as I mentioned earlier in this episode, you can subscribe to my inspirations on my website. You just scroll down a bit, look on the right sidebar until you see the place to add your email to subscribe to my weekly inspirations. It's that simple, right? Okay, so go to my website, scroll down a screen or two, then look on the right sidebar until you see the little place where you can add your